Hello, good day, and welcome to my first ever podcast. My name is Montgomery Welt, and today we are going to be talking about Bifrost. Now, what Bifrost is basically Maya's flip solver. Now, if you don't know what flip stands for, flip is a fluid implicit particle, basically. Maya being a jack of all trades, they had to come up with something to get their great water simulations down, so they came up with Bifrost. Now, Bifrost is pretty relatively new, and so let's just jump in. Now, basically, some of the cool attributes about Bifrost is that it contains two different types of caches, one being the scratch cache, which is temporary. It's used to speed up playbacks and allow for scrubbing back and forth while previewing and adjusting your simulation. Then another type of cache that Maya contains in Bifrost is going to be the user cache, which is meant to store your finished simulation after you're finished adjusting all the settings and you have that final look that you want. So, with that being said, let's dive on in. We're going to go to our modeling section and create a cube. All right, we're going to scale this guy up. And like I said, everything with Maya is real world units in size. So you'll have measurable quantities like velocity and density in here. This basically allows for a realistic, kind of predictable results at different scenes and scales with time steps. So, great. And we're going to go in here, go into our face mode, select this top face. I don't know why it jumped to rigging, sorry. Edit mesh, and then we're going to extrude in. Give Maya just a second, excuse my computer, there we go. Then we're going to go and extrude one more time and bring that guy on down. Perfect. Now that we have that, that's good. Basically going to be our outer box for Maya here. And that's going to be basically what that's going to be doing is holding our liquid. All right, then we're going to go in here and create a second box. Bam, here it is. Scale that out, scale it down, and scale it out one more time, down a little bit more. We're going to jump into the top view, get our wireframe on. Yeah. Whoops, sorry about that. Then we're going to slide into our vertexes, expand those out a little bit, pull those up. Try to get that as close as possible. It's going to give you a more realistic feel as to the bounding box that we have here. So we're going to get that close. Perfect. All right. And we're just going to do one more slide adjustment, pulling that down. Perfect. Now we are actually going to head over to our Bifrost tab. Now here you see a couple different options. We have options of creating liquid, arrow. Then we can either make it emitter, collider, accelerator, or foam. Then there's a couple other options such as removing emitters and colliders, so on and so forth. Basically, we're just going to start off with a nice liquid. Boom. Now what you see here is our bounding box, which is going to contain our particles in there. I don't know if we can see those little blue particles on the outside. What I'm actually going to do is jump into my liquid shape, and under the particle display tab I have a point size, so I'm going to scale that up a little bit so you can see those little voxels in there. And basically what the voxels in the our Bifrost liquid container here is basically controls the overall resolution of the liquid and emitters. So same thing with the liquids. This is basically based on a real world scale. Now we have here is in a resolution is the master voxel size. Now if we were to jack this up to, I don't know, like a 0.001, basically what that's going to do is subdivide, same thing like in Houdini, it's going to subdivide all those voxels and give us a ton more points on there. But we're actually going to leave it at a 0.5 right now, just so we don't kill ourselves on render times, to say the least. Then we have our liquid caches in here, and so on and so forth. Great. Now, then we have another couple things. We have we can do points or spheres. We'll just leave it as spheres. And then you can also do a display as particles or voxels, which are these big blue dots. Perfect. We'll take that back down. Awesome. Now that we have that going, we are going to select this outer geometry. Then we're going to shift select the box, go up and hit collider. Bam. So that should give us a collider for our dots there, so that way they're not falling all over the place. Perfect. Now we are going to create a polygon. Let's make a sphere right here. Scale that bad boy down, a little too large. We don't need all that. And we're going to pull him up and pull him down one more time. Let's see if we can get him. There we are. Great. Now we're just going to key him right here. Then we're going to slide down our time frame, and we'll keep this relatively short. We don't want to run too much of a time on this, and there we go. And we'll key that right there. Make sure that's working. Now, basically with our selected, you can already see this green line right here, and that's going to be the automatic cache. Whoops, and we'll run it forward. And perfect. So we're going to let that run for a little bit. I'll actually scale this time slider down because we obviously don't need that. And as you can see, we are starting to get those collisions in with the voxel sizes. Now, what I did actually was I saved us some time, and I actually created a thicker, little better render, I guess you could say. Let's see here. Sorry about this. And basically, what I'm doing here is just showing y'all some of the the play blast that I had gotten. Perfect. Here they are. Sorry about that. Now this first one is the one with the particles that I had done. Now I had jacked up the master voxel size again, which this took about an hour just for a play blast, so I can only imagine how long the render took. And like I said before, there are some things that Bifrost is still working out, but I'll just play this for you real quick so you can kind of get a look at it. And we're kind of getting that little ripple effect right there with the water. Now I changed the voxels into a mesh, which I have right here, and I'll play this for you so you can get a little bit better understanding of it. And bam! So we get that nice little ripple effect there with the water. It turned out pretty nice. Now you can also create, there's also a Bifrost liquid material in here also. Like I said, Maya is a jack of all trades. It does have its own material, and you can go ahead and go in there and adjust it however need be. Also, I just wanted to show y'all a couple of different things that, once all completely rendered out, Maya, you can create some great things with Bifrost, such as this great whale here, and things such as this car, and you can even do beach scenes and so on and so forth. So yeah, basically I just wanted to show y'all a little brief introduction into Bifrost so you have a little bit of better understanding. Like I said, there are some bugs that are still being worked out with Maya and their Bifrost system. This is actually a second project I was working on with Bifrost, and having trouble with the actual colliders, uh, just giving me problems, which, yeah. I don't know if it still has the same cache or not. Nope. But this is just a little personal project I was working here on the side. We can actually go in here, select that, Bifrost, liquid, and see our Bifrost is creating a liquid container down here at the origin instead of back up top where I needed it. And always remember, another thing to point out, sorry, is to always be in your viewport 2.0. If not, you won't be able to see any of your particles if you're in Legacy. So just wanted to remind you of that. Anyways, I was just having troubles with making the collider with the glass, so still working on that little side project. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and hopefully you're a little bit closer to understanding Bifrost. Thank you so much, and have a great day.